Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine standing before the greatest version of yourself. Confident, accomplished, living a life of purpose. Now, ask yourself one question. What is stopping you from becoming that person? The answer for most is simple. We wait for the perfect moment, for motivation, for circumstances to align. But I'm here to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. You must force yourself to achieve your goals. Waiting is the silent killer of dreams. Action is the life force of success. And today I will show you how. There is a powerful truth that governs all success. Success is not given. It is earned by those who seize it through disciplined action. You will never stumble into greatness by accident. It requires conscious effort, unwavering focus, and a refusal to be ruled by comfort. The mind is both your greatest ally and your fiercest enemy. If you allow fear, doubt, and procrastination to rule your decisions, your dreams will wither before they ever bloom. But if you master your mind, if you command your thoughts and emotions, you will unlock a force greater than any external obstacle. The key lies in definiteness of purpose, a clear and burning desire that sets your soul on fire. Without it, you drift aimlessly. With it, you become unstoppable. Once you know exactly what you want, you must feed that desire daily. Remind yourself constantly of why you started. Visualize the outcome. Feel the emotions of victory before victory is won. But desire alone is not enough. You must take persistent action. Force yourself to move forward, especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline is born in those moments of resistance. Successful people act regardless of their mood. They understand that action creates momentum, and momentum destroys fear. You must also learn to silence the voices of doubt, from within and without. The opinions of others are irrelevant if they do not serve your vision. Build an inner fortress of faith and belief. Tell yourself daily, I must succeed. My goals demand it. Surround yourself with people who fuel your vision, not those who drain it. Seek out mentors, partners, and allies who challenge you to rise higher. This is the power of a mastermind alliance, a force that multiplies your strength through collective wisdom. Finally, understand that failure is not your enemy. It is the price of mastery. Every setback is a lesson, every mistake a stepping stone. Do not fear failure, fear stagnation. Keep moving forward, and you will eventually find victory standing in your path. The truth is simple. Success demands that you force yourself beyond comfort, beyond fear, beyond hesitation. You have the power within you. Seize it. Act on it, and never stop until your goals bow to your will. There is a force inside every human being that lies dormant until it is summoned by a crystal clear purpose. Most people drift through life, carried by the currents of circumstance, waiting for something external to give them direction. But the truth is, direction does not come from outside. It is born from within. The starting point of all achievement is a definite, burning desire, backed by a precise goal that leaves no room for doubt, no space for hesitation, no opening for compromise. When the mind is anchored to a definite purpose, it stops wandering aimlessly. It gains power, like a lens focusing sunlight into a beam that can burn through steel. The mind, when focused on a single aim, gathers all its scattered energies and channels them into one irresistible force. Without this definiteness, the mind drifts, distracted by every passing fancy, overwhelmed by the chaos of competing desires, unable to create the sustained effort required for success. Clarity of purpose is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, ambition collapses under its own weight. It begins with a decision, not a wish, not a hope, but a firm, unshakable decision about what you truly desire. This decision must be so definite that it withstands the tests of time, obstacles, and opposition. It must be a goal that ignites your emotions, one that stirs your soul into actions. The stronger the emotional charge behind your purpose, the greater the force it generates to carry you through adversity. The heart must burn for it, and the mind must be obsessed with it. Only then does the subconscious mind accept it as a command. Once the definite purpose is chosen, it must be written, spoken, and repeated daily. Words have power. When you declare your goal with conviction, you impress it upon your subconscious mind, which begins to work tirelessly day and night to find the means of its fulfillment. The world around you responds to the definiteness of your purpose by revealing opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your objective. The vague and uncertain attract nothing. The definite and determined attract everything. Every thought, every action, every decision must be measured against your purpose. If an action does not serve the fulfillment of your goal, it must be discarded. This level of focus eliminates distractions and fuels momentum. People who achieve great things are not necessarily more talented or more fortunate. They are simply more committed to their purpose. They are willing to pay the price that others are not. They rise early while others sleep. They work while others rest. They persist while others quit. And all of it is driven by the power of a definite major purpose that dominates their thoughts. But purpose alone is not enough. Many people know what they want but remain paralyzed, trapped between desire and action. This is where the second force must be invoking the discipline to act persistently, even when comfort whispers its seductive lies. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. It lures you with the promise of ease, but beneath its surface lies stagnation, regret, and wasted potential. Those who wait for motivation to strike before acting will spend their lives waiting. Motivation is unreliable, discipline is absolute. The most successful individuals understand that action must be forced, especially when emotions resist. When you don't feel like working, that is precisely when you must work. When fear tells you to hesitate, that is precisely when you must charge forward. Every act of discipline is a declaration that your purpose commands your actions, not your feelings. Each time you act in defiance of procrastination, you strengthen the chains of habit that pull you closer to your goal. Momentum is a powerful law. When you act, even imperfectly, you generate motion, and motion fuels confidence, which fuels further action. Soon, what once felt impossible becomes routine. Small victories build into larger triumphs. The initial struggle fades, replaced by the rhythm of consistent progress. This is how mountains are moved, not in one mighty leap, but through countless small, deliberate steps taken relentlessly. Yet resistance will not vanish. The mind will offer endless excuses, rationalizations disguised as logic, urging you to postpone, to rest, to wait for better conditions. You must silence these whispers. You must force yourself forward even when the path is unclear. Action itself creates clarity. The next step often reveals itself only after the first has been taken. Fear thrives in inaction, it dissolves in motion. The more you act, the less power fear holds over you. You must also guard your environment, for it can either strengthen or weaken your resolve. Surround yourself with people who support your purpose, who challenge you to rise higher, who refuse to tolerate mediocrity in you. Avoid those who doubt, who criticize, who mock your ambition. Their voices plant seeds of hesitation that can take root in your mind if allowed. Protect your mental space with the same vigilance as you protect your home from intruders. Your purpose deserves no less. Understand that obstacles are not signs to turn back. They are tests of your commitment. Every setback carries within it a lesson, a refinement, an opportunity to grow stronger. The person who achieves their goals is not the one who never encounters failure, but the one who persists through every failure, refusing to be defeated. Each difficulty overcome adds to your confidence, builds your resilience, sharpens your skills. Without adversity, strength cannot be forged. The discipline to act also demands that you master your time. Time is your most precious asset, and how you invest it determines the speed of your success. Plan your days around your purpose. Prioritize the tasks that move you closer to your goal. Avoid distractions that drain your energy without yielding progress. Every hour wasted is an hour stolen from your destiny. When you live with this awareness, urgency becomes your constant companion. You stop waiting for the right time and recognize that the right time is always now. Another critical truth is that your purpose must be accompanied by an unwavering belief in its attainment. Doubt weakens resolve. You must cultivate absolute faith that your goal is not only possible but inevitable. This belief acts as a magnet, drawing to you the resources, ideas, and people necessary for its realization. Speak to yourself daily with conviction. I will achieve this. I was born to achieve this. Nothing will stop me. These affirmations reprogram your mind, replacing fear with confidence, hesitation with certainty. Faith, discipline, and definite purpose together form an unstoppable force. The world yields to those who refuse to yield to it. History is written by individuals who dared to declare their purpose, who acted with relentless discipline, who believed in their ability to mold reality according to their vision. They were not superhuman. They simply harnessed principles that anyone can apply. You too possess this power. It begins the moment you stop waiting, stop wishing, and make a decision so powerful that every fiber of your being commits to it. From that decision flows the discipline to act, not once, but repeatedly until victory is secured. The journey will not be easy. It is not meant to be. But with each step taken in defiance of comfort and fear, you draw closer to the life you were meant to live. And when you arrive, you will know that it was not luck or chance that brought you there, but the force of your own will, directed by purpose, sustained by discipline, and fueled by unwavering belief. Within the hidden chambers of the human mind lies either the seed of triumph or the germ of defeat. Every thought that is allowed to take root and grow determines the outcome of one's entire existence. The mind does not care which seeds you plant. It will return to you a harvest in proportion to the thoughts you cultivate. Whether those thoughts are born of fear, doubt, worry, and limitation, or of courage, faith, power, and determination, that decision belongs entirely to you. Control over the mind is not an accident, nor is it a gift bestowed upon a select few. It is a discipline earned through awareness, vigilance, and unwavering commitment to mastery. The first and greatest battle every person must fight is not against the world, but against themselves. The battlefield is internal. It is waged between the voice of potential and the whisper of fear. The voice of potential speaks with confidence, declaring that you are capable, deserving, and equipped for greatness. The whisper of fear sows doubt, questioning your worth, reminding you of past failures, tempting you to shrink from challenges. The victor of this internal war determines the course of your life. Those who master their minds command their destiny. Those who surrender to fear drift aimlessly, slaves to circumstances. It begins with thought, for thought is the origin of every action, every decision, every success or failure. The mind responds to the dominating emotions attached to those thoughts. Thoughts saturated with fear attract failure. Thoughts saturated with faith attract victory. This is no idle theory. It is a law as certain as gravity. You cannot allow your mind to wander aimlessly, entertaining every fleeting worry or negative emotion. You must take possession of your own mind and feed it only that which serves your purpose. To master the mind, one must become the constant observer of thought. You must listen carefully to the silent conversations occurring within you. Are you entertaining beliefs that weaken your confidence? Are you dwelling on what might go wrong? Are you focusing on limitations rather than possibilities? Each negative thought is like a parasite that feeds on your energy, slowly draining the life force needed to pursue your goals. But you are not powerless. You have the authority to uproot these thoughts the moment they appear and replace them with those that inspire strength and certainty. Affirmation is the tool of the master. Repeating words of power conditions the mind to believe them. When you declare with conviction that you are capable, resourceful, and unstoppable, the subconscious accepts these commands as truth. The repeated affirmation of your purpose, your abilities, and your inevitable success implants a belief so strong that doubt finds no entry point. This belief becomes your armor, shielding you from the arrows of skepticism that others may hurl. The world is full of opinions, most of them rooted in limitation and fear. If you allow yourself to be swayed by the doubts of others, you will lose your way. You must build a mental fortress so strong that no external voice can penetrate it. The only voice that matters is the one you cultivate within. It must speak with authority, proclaiming your vision is already accomplished, even when physical evidence has yet to appear. The subconscious mind, once properly directed, will work tirelessly on your behalf, drawing to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities required to materialize your vision. You must also guard against the most subtle enemy of all, indecision. Indecision is the thief of opportunity. The longer you hesitate, the more power doubt gains over you. When you hesitate, you invite fear to fill the gap left by uncertainty. The most powerful individuals are those who decide quickly and firmly, and who rarely change their decisions without sound reason. When your mind is trained to act with certainty, you radiate confidence that attracts cooperation from others and creates momentum that carries you forward. Mastery over the mind also demands that you manage your emotional state. An emotion is energy, and like a raging river, it must be directed. Anger, frustration, jealousy, and anxiety are destructive forces when uncontrolled, but when harnessed, even negative emotions can fuel determination and resilience. The master uses every emotion to serve their purpose. When anger arises, channel it into action. When frustration appears, let it drive you to refine your strategy. Never allow emotions to paralyze you, they must propel you. Visualization is one of the greatest tools for mastering the mind. When you vividly imagine the achievement of your goal, engaging all your senses, you create a mental blueprint that guides your subconscious to manifest it. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. The clearer your mental picture, the stronger the magnetic pull toward its realization. See yourself already in possession of your desired outcome. Feel the emotions of triumph. Hear the words of congratulations. Experience every detail with such clarity that your mind accepts it as present reality. This practice of visualization creates an inner certainty that defies external appearances. Even when obstacles arise, even when delays occur, your belief remains unshaken because you have already seen the outcome in your mind. Every great achievement was first accomplished in the mental realm before it appeared in the physical world. The mind is the creative workshop where all success is born. The power of the mind is limitless when properly directed, but it requires constant discipline. You must refuse to dwell on past failures, for they serve only as lessons, not life sentences. You must reject the tendency to compare yourself to others, for each person's journey is unique. You must eliminate envy, self-pity, and resentment, for these emotions corrode the soul and distract from progress. Your energy must be fully invested in your purpose, your vision, and your belief in its fulfillment. Now, once the mind is mastered and filled with certainty, another power must be activated to accelerate achievement, the power of visualization, carried forward by persistent action. Visualization alone creates a powerful image, but it is action that breathes life into that image. You must act daily, taking steps that align with your mental vision. Every action taken toward your goal strengthens your belief, while every moment of inaction weakens it. Consistency of action, even in the smallest tasks, builds an unbreakable habit of progress. Through disciplined visualization, you begin each day with clarity. You see the outcome you are working toward, and you move through your tasks with purpose. When difficulties arise, your mind does not falter because the image of success remains fixed. This mental picture acts as a compass, guiding you through uncertainty. Even when the path is not fully visible, your inner vision provides direction. Each day as you reinforce this image, your belief deepens, your resolve strengthens, and your capacity to endure challenges expands. The world bends to those who persist with unwavering belief and take relentless action. It responds it for the person who commands their mind and refuses to negotiate with failure. Those who master visualization and persistent action combine the power of thought with the force of momentum, creating an energy so strong that obstacles seem to dissolve before it. They do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They create their own conditions through the sheer force of will, guided by the blueprint they hold in their minds. The connection between belief and visualization and action cannot be overstated. Belief fuels the vision, vision directs the action, action produces the result. Each feeds the other in a cycle of ever-growing power. When discouragement attempts to invade, return to the vision. See it again, feel again, speak it again. Allow no space for doubt to grow. The mind, when properly trained, becomes an impenetrable fortress, immune to fear, defeat, and discouragement. The secret is not in waiting for inspiration, but in creating it through disciplined mental control. The secret is not in hoping for circumstances to improve, but in forcing them to improve by the force of your own action. The mind, when harnessed with definiteness of purpose and directed through persistent action, becomes the most powerful instrument of achievement in existence. There is no limit to what can be accomplished by the one who masters their own thoughts, controls their emotions, sees their victory before it arrives, and moves forward with relentless determination. No person ever climbs the heights of success alone. The journey toward any great achievement requires a force far greater than individual effort. There is a power that multiplies the strength of one when it is joined by the minds of others, a mysterious but undeniable energy that forms when two or more people come together with harmony, trust, and a shared purpose. When properly formed and directed, this alliance becomes an unstoppable current that carries each member toward their personal and collective goals faster than any could travel alone. This force is not random. It requires careful selection, deep understanding, and absolute harmony of purpose. The first step toward building this alliance begins with clarity of your own purpose. You cannot invite others into your vision if you do not know where you are going. Only when your aim is definite and your desire burning can you attract those who are capable of contributing to your ascent. Like a magnet, your definiteness of purpose will draw to you the right individuals whose skills, knowledge, and strengths complement your own weaknesses. Alone, your abilities are limited. Together, they are multiplied. But not everyone qualifies to be part of such an alliance. You must choose carefully, for the wrong influence can corrupt your vision, drain your energy, and plant the seeds of doubt within your mind. The people you bring into your circle must believe in your vision as deeply as you do. They must contribute more than words. They must bring loyalty, ideas, energy, and a willingness to sacrifice for the shared goal. In return, you must offer them the same loyalty, trust, and unwavering commitment. But this alliance is a sacred contract, and its strength depends on the harmony maintained by each member. When this harmony is established, the minds of each participant connect to form a greater intelligence, one that transcends the abilities of any single individual. This collective mind begins to generate ideas, solutions, and insights that no one member could have discovered alone. The problems that once seemed overwhelming begin to dissolve as new paths forward emerge from this shared intelligence. The energy of one feeds the energy of another. Confidence grows stronger, belief solidifies, momentum accelerates. Each victory becomes a shared triumph that further strengthens the bond. Communication is the lifeblood of this alliance. Open, honest, and respectful dialogue allows each person to contribute fully without fear of judgment or ridicule. Within this space, creativity flourishes. Different perspectives merge to produce innovative strategies. Disagreements are resolved through mutual respect and a shared understanding that the alliance exists for a purpose higher than ego. In such an environment, criticism becomes constructive, not destructive. Mistakes become lessons, not points of blame. The alliance grows stronger with each challenge it overcomes together. There will be times when the outside world attempts to penetrate this circle of strength with negativity, envy, or opposition. The alliance must remain united, shielding its members from external doubt and distraction. Each member must serve as a guardian of the group's harmony, never allowing petty disagreements or personal grievances to fracture the bond. The success of the alliance depends on each person's willingness to prioritize the shared goal above individual pride. Beyond practical support, this alliance also serves as a powerful force in sustaining faith and belief. When one member's confidence wavers, others step in to restore it. When obstacles arise that seem insurmountable, the collective strength of the group reignites hope and determination. This mutual reinforcement prevents discouragement from taking root. The shared belief acts as a shield against the creeping poison of fear. The alliance sustains each member through moments of weakness and amplifies their strength in times of triumph. In this way, the alliance becomes more than a partnership. It becomes a living source of power that nourishes every aspect of your pursuit. It injects new life into your vision, provides fresh ideas, offers honest feedback, and supplies the energy needed to sustain long-term action. You are no longer isolated in your struggles. You stand surrounded by a circle of strength that lifts you higher than you could ever rise alone. But while this alliance offers immense power, even it cannot eliminate the inevitable appearance of failure. Failure visits every person who strives for anything worthwhile. It comes dressed in disappointment, setback, delay, and unexpected obstacles. It strikes without warning and often with cruel precision. But failure is not the end, it is the teacher. Those who understand this truth do not run from failure. They welcome its lessons. Failure carries within it information not available through success. Each setback reveals a weakness in plan, strategy, or execution that must be corrected for greater success to emerge. Failure forces you to examine your approach with greater scrutiny, to refine your methods, and to strengthen your resolve. Without failure, growth would stagnate. The greatest accomplishments in history have been built on foundations of repeated failure, each one bringing the achiever closer to mastery. The person who fears failure most will fail most often, for fear paralyzes action. To progress, one must accept failure as part of the process, not a signal to quit, but a signal to adapt. Each time you fall, you rise stronger, wiser, more determined. The pain of failure fades, but the wisdom it offers endures. Those who achieve greatness are not those who avoid failure, but those who rise from it with lessons learned and vision intact. The emotions triggered by failure are powerful and can easily overwhelm the unprepared mind. Disappointment, frustration, self-doubt. All are natural responses, but these emotions must not be allowed to dominate thought. Instead, they must be acknowledged, studied, and then transformed into renewed determination. You do not surrender to these emotions, you harness them. The sting of failure can fuel the fire of desire if you choose to see it that way. Persistence becomes the greatest weapon against failure. The person who refuses to stop, who refuses to yield to discouragement, eventually wears down even the most persistent obstacles. Failure may delay you, but only you can allow it to defeat you. Each time you act in the face of failure, you chip away at the wall standing between you and your goal. Eventually, that wall will crumble. It is in these moments of defeat that the alliance you have built proves most valuable. Alone, failure may seem overwhelming. Together, its weight is shared. The encouragement of trusted allies restores belief when it is shaken. Their faith in you becomes a mirror reflecting the truth that you can succeed, even when your own vision has momentarily blurred. They remind you of your purpose, your strength, and your capacity to overcome. Together, you stand strong against the storm, each person feeding the collective will to continue. Failure also has a curious way of introducing unexpected opportunity. What seems like a closed door may in fact be a redirection to a better path. Many have discovered that their greatest failures became the catalyst for their greatest successes. The lessons learned, the skills gained, and the character developed through failure prepared them for achievements they could not have reached otherwise. But this transformation can only occur those who persist, who analyze, who adapt, and who refuse to quit. The combination of a powerful alliance and a fearless embrace of failure creates an unstoppable formula for achievement. You stand not as one, but as many. You move forward not in the absence of failure, but strengthened by its lessons. You become a force that bends reality to your will through the sheer intensity of your persistence and the clarity of your purpose and the unity of your allies. You rise again and again until success can no longer deny you. When you operate in this way, you no longer fear challenges because you have mastered the most important laws that govern success. You have built a mind that controls its thoughts, shields itself from doubt, and projects its vision into reality through focused action. You have gathered around you a council of strength that multiplies your power and sustains your belief. You have transformed failure into a teacher that sharpens your skill and strengthens your character. You have become the architect of your destiny,